I don't know why, man. Every time I begin with adjusting the headset, Salam alaikum, good morning.
Alaikum salam. I don't know that
You,
some kind of habit that you created to show
you
off
beautiful
your
human
ears.
being. Have you seen kind of what is it called, man? It's called yeah, ticks. There's a word for it. Like athletes often will have these things they do. Like Dustin Poirier when he
Yeah,
fights the UFC guy, he pulls up his shorts.
yeah.
Is it just the shorts?
I think his shorts. There is something with the face, with the hand that he's doing all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are people that a lot of the athletes. There are some athletes um, in football as well, with those peculiar, like they're I don't know what you call the long socks that they wear. I don't know in English
yeah,
language how do you, some of them it has to be cut. There has to be cuts on it.
really.
Then yeah, then other
You
ones
know
they
the
don't let.
craziest one I've seen in tennis? Is it
Yeah,
Nadal? He
yeah,
has a whole thing, man, where like before the serve, every time it's like he'll take the wrist thing, he'll wipe his sweat. It's like a whole thing. It's like six, seven moves, motions every
yeah,
single time.
yeah. Roger Federer had he had when he had long hair, he would always just do this every time when he wants to
Yeah,
serve. He would take the ball, then do this in his hair, and then serve.
yeah. Um, yeah,
Hey,
that's this.
just wanted to say, since we are a diverse company in every possible way, and we believe in diversity. I want to diverse, and we have drivers from all over the world. Just wanted to, for one time, say hi. Not for one time. Maybe this is gonna be a regular stuff, but say hi in 5 different languages. Let me try. So, and actually, three of those I speak at least a basics of it. But so hello to our wonderful drivers of BHX. Obviously, we already said that.
Hello.
Hello. Salam i pozdrav svim našim vozačima, obviously Bosnian
Alaikum
language.
assalam.
Yeah. Um, مرحبا بالسائقائنا. It's our Arabic drivers.
Alaikum assalam.
Alaikum salam. Merhaba. Then salamu kwa madereva wetu wa Ayabu, for our Swahili brothers.
Wow. Hakuna
Right.
Matata.
Hakuna Matata, brother. And then hola en nuestros maravillosos conducteros, for our
Hola.
expanding Spanish team of
Our
drivers.
expanding Spanish fleet.
Yes, I think we do have a couple of guys, 4 or 5 people of Latino
You know what
origin.
happens, man? I remember when first we were introduced to Africa through our brothers from the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Peace.
And yes, peace. And it was awesome because when one came like a month later, we were like 50% African fleet. It's just, people come in large groups, I mean, that's how it works. When one person from a particular community is satisfied, he tells his friends and his people from his community or her community, that they're happy with the new company, and then they all
Yeah,
come. I spoke
yes,
with the
sir.
fleet owner, man, yesterday. Our new fleet owner, Sam or Sinisha, and he's been in logistics for 25 years, and I asked how his drivers were happy with our dispatch team, and I think 3 vans is what he's got with us, and he's possibly discussing putting more on. But he said something, he said they're very happy. It's the best team that they've worked with, and I don't know if that's just a saying, to put a smile on my face, or if it was a real statement. But it's always good to hear that, man. It's always good to hear our drivers happy with what we're doing, even through these tough times.
Indeed.
The other thing I wanted to we were kind of talking about before, and I was thinking about last night, just in one of my deep thoughts, just life. This is kind of a jump to something else, but I wanted to bring it up. Um, Life without when a person goes through life without like a concrete purpose, um, or direction for their existence, right? And you enter life and then you reach a level of maturity where you fall in love and get married and have kids and raise kids and either work and develop a career or start a business and acquire this material wealth and resources that we fight so hard to acquire. And you go through the ups and the downs and the difficulties and the happy moments and the sad moments and the sleepless nights as you work on your business or work on your kids or whatever it is. Um, and then you reach an old age. I met with a business owner selling a product to us a couple days ago. Very lively, full of life, but he's probably 90 or close to 90. And he's been in business for over 50, 60 years, developed all kinds of businesses, probably a millionaire, but father time comes nevertheless, and the clock is ticking. And it's just like life when you don't when you don't view it through the lens of there's something greater than this 50 to 100 years I'm on this earth. It seems so, like, to me, I don't understand how people that don't have a belief in something greater, what keeps them going, because it's like, okay, I beat the boss, I beat the final level, I become a billionaire, I have a bunch of kids that I have a great relationship with, I have a loving relationship with friends and those around me,
You know what?
but it ends. And when you view it as the ultimate ending, to me, like as someone who grew up playing video games, it would be like spending like a month playing a game nonstop and then just turning it off without saving. And because that's the alternative, right? You just cease to exist and your file gets erased. What is your
Here's the thing. Professional people that are not lazy in any sense, that do not give up in any sense, and they create a mentality, even though they get to a position where they're no longer 30, 40, and no longer strong and everything else physically, but
hmm
mentally still, they create a mentality that is a winning mentality, that does not want to give up, that does not want to stop, that does not want to rest in any way. That's why they seldom go to retirement
hmm
as 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 the usual, I would say, worker and employee. Someone is just waiting for him to hit 60 and then retire in Florida. I don't know. And then that's how it goes. But here's the other thing as well that I wanted to just put in front of this. When you said when to stop, how to stop, if to stop, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the Prophet Muhammad, for those who are not familiar, he said that even if you see that the judgment day has started, plant
hmm
the tree. That means that there is no moment that is something is it's okay, it's too late, I don't want to do it anymore, I just want to retire. And of course there are stuff that you should do as a young man and not do as an old man, and vice versa. There are stuff that you should do as an old man and not do as a young man. But ideally you should be going all life. In my opinion, you should be going all life, and that will keep you sane, that will keep you happy, that will keep you going, and that will keep you as well not a burden to everyone around you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm young, we'll see.
Yeah, but it's for me the thought is beyond what keeps a like the keeping going. It's this idea, and everyone has a different life experience, right? And that's the beauty of life. Somebody else has a completely different viewpoint that makes perfect sense to them. I'm only sharing my viewpoint and kind of what makes sense to me. It's like you work so hard, and then at the end, you turn the game off without saving, if you believe that, you just cease to exist. And, people say, well, you leave a legacy behind. Most of us, man, they leave one or two generations of memories behind. I don't know who my great grandfather was. Most of us don't. And if you do, then, add a couple generations on top of that, and you're in the same boat that I am. So, it's just, I mean, one of those Ramadan reflections, in this month, uh, most of us try to spend more time in reflection and listening to lectures and reading things. And when what keeps me going is that um, idea of life beyond this 50 to 100 years.
Indeed.
But what will keep me going now on an immediate level is us booking more loads. And let's dive into that and recap yesterday if you're ready.
Eyes ready.
All right. Um, so I'm sharing my screen. I wonder how we're gonna look.
We're gonna look as the two guys sitting on top of the screen.
If you can begin just kind of recapping the day from your perspective, and then we'll dive into the numbers.
Uh, from my perspective, Mondays are usually very busy or not so busy. For some reason, that's my feeling on the Mondays. Same is for Fridays. Usually very busy and not so busy.
Hmm.
Yesterday, I mean, when it comes to just work coming in, yesterday was fairly good day, I would say, for 52 of our drivers, or 52 loads were booked. And a fairly not so good day for around 10 of our drivers that were not booked after waiting for quite some time. So we have 50, 50 happy drivers, and then we have 10 drivers not so happy. So right now, we're trying to have other guys as well booked. On that, um, when it comes to average load pay, it was decent. If I remember correctly, it was $694. Um, we didn't have major issue. We have one big issue, operational issue. We have one of our guys at the top of Michigan waiting to cross still, I think, for 2 days for the paperwork to be corrected for the third time, and for us to clear the Canada or border for him. Shout out to Oscar. He's up there right now waiting for us to resolve it. And hopefully, Oscar, if you're looking this in the first hour or two of the day, if not already, I'm not in the main room. You should be over the border. Thank you for your patience, sir. Apart from that, no more big operational issues.
Yeah. How long has you been waiting?
Uh, I think longer than 48 hours.
Oh man,
That's
that's
like one
painful,
of them.
man.
It is. Doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it hurts.
Would you say that's the biggest operational problem we had?
Yeah, that I can remember right now.
Okay. I don't know if this is gonna just record me on the screen or if it's gonna show both. Hopefully it shows both.
I think it's just gonna show you because I'm seeing you right now.
Really?
I don't see myself.
Oh man, hold on, let me fix it. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Zoom's ability with this, but that's a conversation off of here for us to fix. Okay. Daily recap. Yesterday was a phenomenal day in comparison to other days we've had. 52 loads. There were
Hey, just
7,300.
a
Actually,
second. Are you sharing something? It's a blank screen.
no way.
It's just white.
Oh my Lord. Is it still white?
It is white.
No way. That's not good, man.
Yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
let's stop sharing and let's start sharing. Anything?
Yeah, I see now. Loads booked 52 daily recap.
Okay, cool. Loads available 7,438. Loads imported 1,105. So what happened to the other 6,000 and something loads? We didn't have available drivers in those areas, right? If we didn't have anyone in Oregon, and if there were 10 loads in Oregon, they wouldn't show up here. Or if they were bigger loads for like small straight, large straight, and stuff like that. We placed 517 bids. 277 were declined, and then 311 expired. The expired ones is the ones where it's offered to a yellow driver or a yellow scenario, and they don't respond after 10 minutes, I believe it expires. Some of those people have just fallen into the habit of not responding to them if they're not interested. I would, please encourage everybody to respond and decline. It's just one click for you, but it saves us a lot of time. When we're seeing those loads, we're trying to figure out if you just hadn't seen it. We're trying to study the load quickly and see if it's one you might be interested in and what one might, if it's a load that might be worth pursuing, right? And that's why sometimes we call you and say, hey, there's a load here. It's going to a yellow area. You haven't responded. When we don't know if if it's a matter of you not seeing it or you just not being interested, we don't know how to act on those. So if you see a load you're not interested in, just take a moment to hit that red X to decline it. The average pay was $694, and the win ratio was 10.44%. So again, on average, means we had to place 10 bids to win one load. Typically, we want this number to be up to about 15%, but right now this is what it is. Explain to the people, Munira, what we would have to do to bring this number up. The simple
Um,
answer for what we need to do, if we wanted 15% today, what could we do?
could book first more loads by placing more bids and answering on more of those loads that come to drivers, and of
No, no,
course
no, no.
declining less.
If we wanted the win ratio up, we could
Um,
lower the prices, right?
yeah, yeah, win ratio, lower the prices,
Well, that's the only
place
thing, that's the
fewer.
only
Yeah,
answer.
yeah,
There no fewer, just the only answer. We could lower the prices. I mean, yeah, there's other things, call customers, improve relationships with customers, but I'm saying on a simple level, if we want our win ratio to go up, we lower the prices. If we lower the prices, our number of drivers go down because people are leaving the company. So, right, that's the balance we try to find. Um, increasing that win ratio is doable, but the prices would have to go down. So it's always a balancing act. We're trying to get as much money as we can on every load without leading to long wait times. We could get more money for loads. We could get higher rates per mile, but the win ratio would go down. So it's all tied in that simple way. This is a breakdown of the bids we had. So 517 total. 222 were by Haris. 123 were by Muhammad. 73 were by Omer. 42 were by Vedad. And then the rest of them were sort of random people that jumped into bidding. Um, just a quick background story for drivers. The reason that these numbers are a bit lopsided and odd looking, part of the reason is because everyone has their task that they do. For example, Omer, the yellow slice on here, he's responsible for making calls in the morning and reaching out to all of our drivers, providing updates on the statuses, discussing relocation and stuff like that. So there's just sometimes the number of bids that someone placed, it's not a reflection on how active they are, but it's just a matter of they have other tasks that are not represented here. Um,
that's
Before I
right.
move on, anything here you want to add?
Nothing specifically.
Cool. And then this is the loads booked. So 21 loads were booked by Haris with his 220 bids. nine Muammar, eight Omar, seven Vedad, and then the rest of us had a couple in there as well. Well, I didn't have any, but I think Munir
I'll
had one.
you should try every day, and one day you'll get there.
I will. I will keep trying and I will not lose faith. Um, okay, that's it, man. We're trying to bring some visuals and some data so you guys can see the day. We discussed doing these live, so we're gonna probably start that this coming couple days. I thought about doing them as a meeting where people can join and chime in, ask questions, have a conversation. What do you think about that?
I'm up for that live, or at least live, not as a meeting, but at least a live YouTube video where people can join in and leave at least leave comments and
And make donations?
make don for the cause.
Um, okay, anything else operational before we?
Nothing specific really.
All right,
That's
and
about it.
words of wisdom by Munir Mehic.
Words of wisdom. Um,
I'm ready to soak in the knowledge.
Today, actually, I wanted to go a little bit about to speak about the patience on the road and
Patience.
patience with speaking with drivers, patience when drivers speaking with dispatchers and all over. It's something that the modern world lacks. I kind of wanted to manipulate my way into this call with it, but then we started talking about something else, and then this is gonna be like all of a sudden. But um, yeah, just one quote or two about it. Um, to lose patience is to lose the battle, and every interaction, if we consider it like it, can be a battle. And so don't lose patience. You're not gonna lose one. And patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. So guys, every time you're on a phone with a dispatcher, and I'm not saying usually when I listen to calls, our calls are very very nice and professional. There's nothing there to say that we're losing patience and frustrated all the time. But just when going into it, just understand that patience is number one for your healthy day. I would say that's about it. Nothing specific.
Perfect, man. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. We will conclude there, and I'll send this to you so you can upload it and share it with our guys and gals.
Will do.
All right. Be safe, everyone. Munir salam.
Salam.